What is broad form insurance, Washington State?
Broad form insurance in Washington State insures a specific driver to drive owned and non-owned private passenger vehicles instead of insuring a specific car. The broad form policy is usually referred to as driver's license insurance because it covers both owned and non-owned vehicles and is not limited to just the cars listed on a regular car insurance policy. The rate for a broad form policy does not depend on the number of cars you drive or the type of cars you drive. You will pay the same amount whether you drive 1, 3, or even 12 cars. This policy is designed for someone who owns and is the only driver of several cars, or they frequently borrow various other cars and want to make sure they are insured in case the owner's insurance won't cover them.
Broader coverage than a named non-owner policy.
A broad form named operator policy should not be confused with its poor cousin, the named non-owner policy. The named non-owner policy only covers cars you don't have regular access to drive. So any car owned by you, parked at your residence, or lent to you frequently is excluded from coverage. Because the broad form adds back the exclusion for owned and regular use vehicles, it gets the name broad form. Most states allow the named non-owner policy to be offered, and most insurance companies do carry it. Yet very few states allow the broad form policy, which offers more coverage, to be offered. Thankfully, Washington is one of the states that does allow the broad form named operator policy to be offered. Even so, only a handful of Washington insurance companies choose to do so.
Not just bare bones coverage.
Many online descriptions of broad form insurance are inaccurate, saying it is a bare bones policy that can only have liability coverage. Yes, a broad form can have just the state minimum 25-50-10 liability coverage, but you can also get 100-350 liability coverage, hardly bare bones. Also, just like every other car insurance policy in Washington, you can add uninsured motorist and personal injury protection to your policy. You may be looking for cheap car insurance, but these coverages can be added and are recommended since they protect you and the people in your car. The only major coverages that cannot be added to a broad form policy are the physical damage coverages for your car, comprehensive and collision, also known as full coverage. This coverage is required by most banks if you financed your car or pickup. A broad form policy cannot have full coverage since the insurance company does not know what kind of car you are driving.
Broad form SR22 insurance.
If you need SR22 insurance but don't have a car or just want to keep your existing preferred rates on your cars, a broad form is an excellent option. Mid-Columbia Insurance can help you file your SR22 insurance with the DOL so you can start driving again.
Get insured today. Call 509-783-5600 or online at midcolumbiainsurance.com.